What's up, Cheesecake Nation? It's your old buddies, Super Chudge Funk and the Dave, blasting at you once again with our very first top 10 video. And it is going to be on mine and Dave's personal top 10 Pokemon that we think deserve Megas.
Yeah, moving into Gen 7, I think we probably won't see any Gen 7 Megas right away, but I think we'll pick up a couple Gen 6s. Yeah. And technically our top 10s are not exactly 10. You know, some of them are kind of little groups, some of them are pairs. Right off the bat though, guys, we're going to disqualify starters and any legendaries.
Starters because they're obviously all going to get one eventually.
Yeah, and legendaries just because no one really gets to play with them, whether you're VGC and they're banned or you're playing in Smogon and it's pretty much locked in Ubers, so who cares?
So without further ado, let's get started at number 10.
On the Chudge list?
Dunsparc. You're going to see a lot of shitty Pokemon that not a lot of people like, don't really get a lot of love on my side. I think Dunsparc is one of those. He's a very forgettable Pokemon. He's a normal type, doesn't really have a great move pool. I think turning him into, like, I know he's based off of, like, a Japanese snake monster. Maybe making him a normal poison, that'd be a very interesting typing. Giving him some kind of random crazy ability would be pretty cool. Because I don't know my Japanese mythology very well. You know, I did expanding on him would look kind of... He has an interesting design of anything.
Yeah.
You know, expanding on that design, making him look more intimidating would be pretty cool. But yeah, I think Dunsparc deserves a Mega.
Alright, so moving into my pick for the number 10 spot, I'm picking Licky. I think he's a really cool Pokemon. I've always liked Lickitung, even like back in the day. Yeah. Then he got Lickitung, or Licky. But he's a little underwhelming. I mean, he makes a pretty good wall in the lower tiers. He's not a horrible attacker, but I think he's just kind of outclassed by better guys. Like Audino is a better physical attacker with Regenerator to work that double edge. What I would like to see personally out of him is something where you could actually use him as a better attacker, whether that's Regenerator, I should say, for those double-edged shenanigans, whether it's better stats into attacking. Just something you could do with them where you kind of make them a little bit more useful and a little bit better. That's all I want. I don't really care about abilities so far. Like, there's abilities that would be cool on them, but I think Gooey could be a kind of a cool ability if you wanted to keep him with that bulky wall set. And as far as dual typing goes, I'm not too worried. Keep him pure normal. Alright.
Number 9 is farfetch'd. Very in that Dunsparce category of crappy Pokemon a lot of people like.
I think farfetch'd and another bird on your list are in their own categories of shit.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to throw in another Pokemon because I actually thought of another one that I'll put up later. But I'm going to throw in Delibird into that same category. They both definitely need a Mega. Or because they're both very underwhelming, very crappy stats. Farfetch'd, you know, just, I don't know, make them a grass and flying? I don't know. I mean, Delibird, just ice and flying, not a very good, you know, defensive type. So definitely try to make him maybe more offensive, give him better moves. They both desperately need it.
Yeah, I would say flying and ice has got to be the worst typing. I know a lot of people say it's bug and flying, but honestly, bug is weak to what? Flying and fire? Anything else?
Other than rock.
Oh, yeah, and rock, but almost all of that. Ice is weak too. Plus you pick up, like, you lose your resistance to fighting. You quad weak to rocks, just like bug. It's horrible typing. And it doesn't protect you against anything, whereas bug has a couple nice things. Alright, my number 9, and a guy who I think is pretty powerful as is, but it could kind of bump him up, is Rhyperior. Giovanni's like ace Pokemon, unless you count the movies where he had a Mewtwo, but we're game guys here. So, like, I think Giovanni needs to step it up, step his game up if they ever want to do, you know, super duper red.
Yeah.
Or blue.
Furno red and forest green.
Yeah, like, I would love just them to go straight back to like silver and gold, but then give us a little bit more like end of game content in the Kanto region.
Or just start us off in
Kanto and go to Johto.
Go to Johto, do like the opposite.
Yeah, that could be fun. I want Giovanni to be a badass at the end of the game. That's the only reason. Like, I want to... Personally, I want to see games where you have end-of-game content where you're going against level 100s.
Absolutely.
So, I think Rhyperior, I like his abilities. I think those don't need to change. Just a little bit of a bump in attack and, a major... Whether he goes to Filter, like Aggron, maybe he'll lose his ground typing and just be a pure rock.
That'd be kind of cool.
With either Solid Rock or Filter, whatever one they want to do. And make him more of an offensive version of Aggron. And I think he'd be really powerful. I mean, Steel's still a better defensive typing than Rock. So we'll see. Alright,
so I'm going to swap out the Delibird for Girafarig for my number 8 spot. I think Girafarig is again, one of those very underwhelming Pokemon. Normal Psychic's not that terrible of a type. I mean, like, it's different enough. He's like, I can't think of any other ones that are normal and Psychic.
I'm pretty sure he's the only one.
Yeah. And as a Giraffe, I think there's like a lot that you could do for his design. And definitely, again, another Pokemon that has very underwhelming move pools. I can't even think of what like his abilities are.
It's Sap Sipper, Forewarn.
Hey, give him something cool.
Sap Sipper's not a horrible one, but I don't know. I don't think his move pool's too bad. You get your Dual Stab and Hyper Voice and Psyshock. He needs some stat love. That's pretty much it. All right, guys. I'm gonna move into mine if that's cool with you. All right, my number 8. I decided to change it. At first, I was gonna say all the pseudo legendaries like fill in Dragonite and Hydreigon, especially then Goodra. But I'm gonna throw those off the list. I think they're good enough as is. I would love to see Dragonite get a Mega. I mean, he was one of my signature Pokemon from back in the day, but I'm not gonna worry about it. The guy I want, Stantler.
Stantler, that's a good one.
I mean, like, he's just completely outclassed by Sawsbuck. Like, give him some loving, whether it's changing him to be a ghost in normal, which could be kind of a cool
I think a normal and psychic. I was going back to that normal and psychic thing because he's again one of those Pokemon that.
Well, I mean, like, their deal from the Pokedex?
Yeah.
Like, they're pretty much hunted to, like, the brink of extinction, and they're scary, and they can, like, warp reality. I think he could be a cool guy. It gives him, like, a really unique typing where he's immune to each of his stabs. Which is kind of cool. He's got the Intimidate when he comes in, which is always going to be nice. I think he could be a cool Mega, Just give him a little bit of a buff and attack. Or you could run the... Sap Sipper one, come in on a grass attack, a stun spore, a sleep powder, whatever, get your +1, Mega up, kick some ass. Kick some ass. So, alright, moving on, Chudge.
Right, next one is Volcarona.
One of those pseudo-legendaries.
Yep, definitely goes in that.
But I think if all the pseudo-legendaries, definitely the weakest with the quad weak to rocks.
Exactly.
So how you want to try to... Is that something you're to deal with, or is that something you think you just need to kind of counteract with more power?
Either way, I think could work. Like you said, it definitely needs something to counteract rocks.
Yeah.
Just to give it an extra edge, because it's powerful enough already. This Quiver Dance makes it a beast, but it's quad weak to rocks and rock-type attacks. They're just killing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, what an ability could do, like... Regenerator, but at the same time, it's not really helping you while you're in. Like, maybe a new ability that would help its Giga Drain to get you back more HP.
Yeah, something. Yeah, like we said, it just needs something. Not sure what that is, but it needs it.
Yeah, I mean, of all the pseudo legendaries, it's definitely like the weakest. Like, Dragonite doesn't like rocks because it breaks your multi-scale, but he's not horrible with a broken multi-scale. Like, you still have extreme speed to fall back on. Depending on what's in, you might be able to get up your single Dragon Dance, and nothing wants to take the outrages outside of a fairy. So, like, he's usable. Volcarona under rocks, you can get him in 3 times if you're lucky. If you get Whirlwinded, you're kind of screwed.
Dave, you're number 7?
Talking about 2 little guys that I think need a little bit of love is Volbeat and Illumise. Volbeat, I think, has a solid spot in the lower tiers as like a prankster, set up the sun, set up something. He's got a deal. Illumise, I don't think she gets prankster. I don't know what she gets.
I think she has different abilities. I can't remember what they are.
Yeah. So I think both of them getting something, so they get like a little spot, get a little bit of love. I don't think they need to be Ultra OU, UU, Super Megas, but some sort of either status guy, keep Volbeat's prankster going, so he can just kind of do a lot of dirty, slimy stuff. He can do Illumise. Maybe make her bulkier and she can kind of be a support character too, but on the other end, I think both of them just could use some love. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, and as of right now, they're kind of, well, Volbeat is okay, but Illumise is just not good. And I would even put into that group Cricketune. I know he's not technically in their family, but he could use a little bit of loving too.
Yeah. All right. Next coming up is the only newer gen Pokemon. Two of my favorites. Obviously, I'm a Ghost guy, and Gourgeist and Trevenant. They have really cool little gimmicks, very neat little Pokedex entries, and I think expanding on those guys would make them really cool. I don't know, I feel like Gourgeist should have been a special attacker while Trevenant is the physical attacker, but they're both in that same kind of boat. You kind of want to work them the same way, kind of defensively. They have the one attack that you have. Trevenant, obviously, you spam the harvest.
Yeah,
there's more
I've
to
seen
it than
offensive Trevenants before.
Oh, yeah,
They're not
absolutely.
horrible, so.
Absolutely.
AV Trevenant isn't a bad poke.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel I'd like to see a bigger difference between them.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to make Gourgeist or Trevenant revolve more around using, their signature ability, not abilities, they're, those attacks that they have, Trick or Treat and Forest Curse.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see,
Not to derail this video, but I actually did see somebody use Forest Curse Trevenant against me with a team that was, set up to deal with grass types.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty legit strategy, because it's hard to kill Trevenant unless you're rocking something specifically to kill it.
I've been trying to figure out a good way to have a Trick or Treat Gourgeist on my Ghost team.
What does Trick or Treat do? It gives it Ghost typing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too bad that's the only thing that gets it, because it's not that fast. The only way I could really see it working is Shadow Sneak full on attack, and then Focus Sash it or something like that. It's bulky enough. So.
But anyway, I just thought they would look cool, especially if you give Gourgeist a more Halloween-y kind of look. You make it give it less of that candle figure to it, and make it look a little bit more like Pumpkaboo, but make the actual pumpkin itself the main body of it to make it look more creepy. Anyway, Dave, your number 6.
Alright, my number 6, and guys, after this we're going to start throwing out directly what we want. Abilities, generally what we should pick up from here on out. Alright, my last one before we go into that though, I think is Gary, especially the Radecki. I think it's something that was on everybody's party pretty much. Everybody caught a Rattata and trained it up. It's not a horrible Pokemon as is right now. There's the Flame Orb Guts set, and it's not horrible. It's pretty quick. It's got okay moves, but it's pretty limited still. I think getting something with a little bit more staying power could definitely help. I can't remember what its other abilities are, because the only ones I've ever run were Guts, Flame Orb. I don't think they're particularly anything great.
I think it's Runaway or
something pick up and run away or
something crappy.
So yeah, I'd like to see Radecki get a bit of love, make it a little bit better. It's got the whole Lavender Town mystery thing about it. Did his Radecki die on the St. Anne? It's got all that kind of cool stuff behind it, and it's just not a very good Pokemon. Alright guys, moving into number 5.
It's my boy Scrafty. Love Scrafty. I just feel like a Mega could really help him out, because he really needs a lot of speed going in. I don't know about changing his typing. I don't know, his gimmick, I don't know if it's part of his gimmick, but fighting in dark, kind of complement what he is. So I don't know if maybe taking away his dark type, making him a pure fighting type, You know, like kind of like a Rocky 5 kind of thing, taking the punk kid off the street and teaching him up type of thing. That'd be kind of interesting. I don't know about changing his abilities. Like, I feel like Moxie's a good ability for him. Intimidate's a good ability for him.
Well, I mean, you don't really need Intimidate on the Mega because you've got it on the base one.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that just goes without saying. But I was just saying I can't think of, like, any other abilities I would want to give him. Maybe Iron Fist?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one you need is some way of dealing with fairies, whether it's, I don't even know, like a new ability to kind of have stuff that comes from fairies, because that's a major weakness. Iron Fist isn't horrible because it's going to power up your Poison Jab. So maybe that's the one to go with. Come in, set up your Intimidate, Mega up, Poison Jab, and on the fairy switch-ins. Hopefully you can get the kill.
Yeah.
If not, you still got Sucker Punch. I mean, always adding in like a Mach Punch or a Bullet Punch on him would definitely be nice from just, you know, the Mega Move Tutor thing that they just kind of give Pokemon new moves when they get Megas.
Yeah.
It could definitely help Scrafty out.
Yeah, definitely it'd be funny to, like, see a Scrafty without, like... Because, like, because, you know, he's got, like, the skin pants. Like, he just doesn't have, like, that, like, orange skin, so you just see him with just, like, the yellow skin and him just kind of, like, you know, like a good, like, fighting stance. Because I think, you know, that would complement, like, the character of the Pokemon a lot. Anyway, Dave, you're number 5? Another one of your boys?
Yeah, I'm putting in Clink. I think that guy is just really good. He's just missing a couple things. I mean, Clear Body's really nice because you can come in on sticky webs and not worry about it. And being a steel, you take less damage from rocks than normal. So he's definitely a nice thing to be able to come in and switch in. If I had to say it, I'd like to see him become either a steel electric or steel fire. Like with the fire, he's going to take normal damage from rocks because he's resistant on the steel side. You can give him levitate no matter what his ability. You could keep him pure steel. I don't really mind.
You could always give him the steel version of, like, Pixelate.
Even giving him normal typing, like something.
Steel normal, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, the only thing you don't really need, like a Steelulate or whatever you want to call it, is
Ellie.
because Shift Gear is such a good move.
Right.
I mean, if anything, maybe giving him something like, well, you kind of want to keep Levitate no matter what. I was going to say maybe
Right.
Tinted Lens or something like that. Could
Something
work
along
well.
those lines, yeah.
But he definitely needs a little bit of love in the move pool. Like, right now, you have Shift Gear, Gear Grind, Wild Charge. Whether you need Stab on the Wild Charge or not, it's up for debate. But Return without Stab is just not that great. If you could pick up Earthquake or Waterfall, some other attack. Like, honestly, if you could pick up, like, a physical grass move of any variety, it would be really nice. Just because, as of right now, like, any sort of grounds are really, like, a pain in the butt for him to deal with. So, I think that, I mean, it'd be cool if he could pick up grass typing. I don't see how it would work, but
Right.
that's why I'm thinking, like, Fire and maybe get Solar Beam so you could do some stuff with him. Because I like Special Clink personally. Like, I would like to see him stat-wise. I don't really worry too much about the speed. Like, he's not particularly fast, but you have Shift Gear. But if you could come in after setting up the sun with somebody else and then go right into a Solar Beam, Volt Switch, Flash Cannon, and then if you had any sort of fire move, I think that's really good coverage. Does a lot of good stuff. Levitate definitely protects him. He just needs some love in the move pool region, whether that's boosting his physical attack in the Mega and giving him a wider special move pool, or just being cool, Game Freak, and giving him, like, solid moves. Like, Earthquake, personally, is what we need. I mean, after one or two Shift Gears, Earthquake will definitely help him move up into, like, OU. Maybe stay in UU.
What would you want him to look like?
Maybe
Maybe just one big gear
I would almost kind of like to see him look like a glow.
looking thing.
Kind of, but, like, you know, you can kind of see, like, the energy trapped inside of him.
Yeah, that would look really cool.
And I definitely think, like, Levitate's a definite need, and either Earthquake or Power Whip could be kind of cool if you gave him, like, if you went Steel Electric with Levitate, and then gave him some like wires wrapped around him, and that was how he Power Whipped. Because Power Whip doesn't have great accuracy, but it's definitely a needed coverage move for dealing with grounds. Alright, guys.
All right. My number 4, another one that's been long awaited, is Mega Marowak. Obviously, Ground Ghost, obviously. I've seen some really cool fan art of what he would look like, and it's just basically like a Marowak just standing there, but like behind him, like he has like bones and stuff like kind of like floating above him, and like a purple fog in the shape of a Marowak, or something like that would look really cool. But just on the concept alone, just from anyone who's played Red and Blue, obviously a big part of that game is the Ghost Marowak. I just think it would be a cool Pokemon. I don't know what, Shadow Tag maybe for an ability, Levitate.
I think Parental Bond if you're to go the Ghost angle, so you have like the Ghost Mom, and just kind of watch it on what you're to give him coverage wise. Just because like I don't think he gets Sucker Punch, does he? Does he get any priority moves? Because that was the problem with Mega Kangaskhan. You would come in, get the double Fake Out, double Power Up Punch, double Sucker Punch, everything else.
Right.
And like it was so hard to deal with. So I think if Marowak stays slow, and you just kind of give it a small boost in attack and watch what kind of moves. Like, I think it gets Quick Attack, I'm pretty sure. But, I mean, that's
I don't even know about that.
Maybe. I mean, I would just watch on what you give him priority-wise, keep him slow, and he could just kind of come in and be a wall breaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd put him right around speed 70. I mean, that's faster than most walls below a lot of other stuff. Like, he'd still have to watch out for the Rotoms. But, I mean, he's still, especially Rotom Wash, depending on where he goes tier-wise. I think that's where you kind of want him. I mean, if he picked up Ghost, he'd probably get Shadow Sneak.
Yeah.
And he does have access to Power Up Punch. I've seen people use it.
Yep.
So, but I don't think he's nearly as scary as Kangaskhan was.
No.
Like, Sucker Punch is just a lot scarier.
And that's pretty much all I had to say on that.
Alright, guys, moving into my number 4. I got Big Papa Pump himself, the Wailord. That dude is the biggest Pokemon, and he's also kind of a pushover, which is too bad right now. He's got a Water Spout, which is just a really cool move, and he doesn't really have a good way of using it. So I'm thinking Mega Wailord, give him some bulk so he can take some hits, and give him Regenerator. That way you can come in, blast, and get out. Heal him back up, so that move never becomes worthless. I think that's the way to use him. As far as dual typing, I don't really think he needs it. I think Pure Water is perfectly fine for him with the Regenerator, the Water Spout, some Ice Beam action.
Unless you want to turn him into a Narwhal and make him Water Ice.
No, he doesn't need Ice typing. Like, I think the Blue Whale thing is pretty cool. I mean, I think he's just really awesome. It's like too bad he doesn't get more love. Then you can go with something like maybe picking up Thunder. Might be a nice thing to give him. Like, don't give him Thunderbolt or anything, so he can come in instead of his Rain, switch out, get his Regenerator boost. Bring in something, whether it's Suicide, like a later Suicide kind of Pokemon. So you can either force your opponent out, or you can play some Mind Games, get your Wailord in, and then just go to town Water Spouting. I think the only other ability that would be cool on him is something to boost his speed. Whether that's rain-induced, Swift Swim, whether that's something else, because that's his gimmick, and as of right now, he's horrible at it. Like, his defenses are garbage. Like, yeah, he has a lot of HP, but when you have garbage defenses, like, you can't really do anything with it.
I'd be happy if you just got really high defenses, really high HP. Just make him...
Yeah.
Because he's a whale, Like it,
yeah, the bulk should be real.
Yeah, like, the bulkiest animal in the world should have bulk.
Yeah.
Like, it would just fit the character of that Pokemon very well.
Alright, guys. Moving into our top 3 now.
Number 3, I believe Torkoal should get a Mega Evolution, and I think... At first I was thinking, you might want to make him, like, Fire Ground, Fire Rock, make him more of a volcano. Fire Steel, make him the Furnace Pokemon. Because he kind of, he's got, like, that... He's more about, like, steam and, like, the white smoke. So I feel like, give him that kind of, like, gimmick about him, turn him into a fire and steel type. make his like shell like that. And I think he would look really cool. Just up his defenses up the wazoo. Just something very similar like what we were talking about with Wailord.
Any idea what you want to give him for an ability? Is he sticking flame body?
White Smoke is like his signature ability, and I can't see Game Freak getting rid of that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I can't even think of any other Pokemon that even have that other than him.
What's it, protect you from stat drops?
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, it works the same way as Clear Body, but it gets his own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you just got to kind of watch out for the ground types. Yeah. And other than that, he Heatran's definitely got a spot in OU, so I couldn't imagine him not getting in there.
Yeah, I'd like to see like him, maybe giving him like a longer neck, make him look a little bit older.
So you sticking with his burn setter, rock spinning? Is that going to be his gimmick as a mega?
Oh, absolutely. He needs to be just the beefiest of walls. Just unbreakable.
That's not bad.
Your number 3?
Alright guys, my number 3 is the Pokemon whose Mega I think we should have already had, and I find it odd we don't. We have Mega Gengar, we got Mega Alakazam, we need Mega Machamp. The champ. He's got to pick up that dragon typing, because he's been like the lizard fighter this entire time. I don't know why he never picked up. I mean, I guess because he would have been really powerful against ice types as a dragon, so it was always weird that he wasn't one to me. Like, I know a lot of people are like, Charizard should have been, but it's like, what do you drop? Do you drop his flying type? Because that's kind of his deal. Or do you drop the fire type, and that's kind of weird. So, Machamp, I think he should be a dragon. I think picking up a little bit of speed or Dragon Dance, either one, would definitely help him out. And I would probably stick with No Guard. I mean...
Oh, definitely.
Dynamic Punch and Dragon Rush with No Guard, scary shit. I mean, I'd give him a little bit of bulk and then just Wall Breaker City. You ain't switching in on this guy. You know, you got Poison Jab, so if those fairies think they can get a free switch in, they ain't taking it. If you want to give him Gunk Shot, just extra kill him. I think he's just scary. I think the only other thing I would give him, other than picking up a couple dragon moves and maybe Gunk Shot, is maybe Mach Punch. I find it weird he doesn't have it. He's got Bullet Punch. I can't imagine there's too many fairies that would come in. Even with the Intimidate, I don't think Rambo could take 2 Bullet Punches. Maybe. He's pretty
Now that I think about it, doesn't like Machamp's Pokedex entry say he can land like 1,000 punches in like 2 seconds?
Also says he can like move 4 mountains, one with each arm. So Pokedex, not exactly the best source of information.
Yeah, ironically enough.
Like his Bullet Punch should like punch through a Pikachu's head. Alright, moving into our top 2.
My number 2, we got Beedrill, which was a Pokemon a lot of people were excited to see because Beedrill sucks. And I was surprised that we didn't get my number 2, which is Mega Butterfree. It's kind of in that same boat. I mean, again, I don't know what you'd give it. I mean, obviously you'd want to just make it a little bit faster.
Magic Guard?
That's a great one. Magic Guard for Butterfree would be awesome.
I assume you're going to drop the flying type? Because I know a lot of people, because it got confusion in Gen 1, so everybody's been pretty much saying they want Butterfree to be the Psychic Bug.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, you could do that. I wouldn't mind it if they kept Bug Flying. Maybe give it Aerialate for an ability.
Well, aren't you taking Magic Guard?
Well, either one. I think either one would be pretty cool for it. Definitely something.
What normal attacks are on it? Is there any particular? Does it get Hyper Voice or something?
Maybe? I can't remember.
Because I'm just wondering what you're going to do with Aerialate.
I mean, they'll give it something. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I just think Butterfree should deserve a Mega. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely be annoying. It's got Compound Eyes normally, right?
Yeah.
So you come in, put your sleep in, then Mega up. Definitely a pain in the ass to deal with. You get that free turn of Quiver Dance. You know, you can do some good stuff with it. I think you could definitely be a pretty good poke. Moving into my number 2, if you're cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy who I don't know why we don't have him already.
I would have put him on my list too, but I knew Dave already said so I figured this is kind of a combined one.
Raichu. Why don't we have Raichu? Like, it's just really weird. I think it's time that Raichu takes his spot as the Mega. Picking up the Fairy typing, I think, is definitely going to help him.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
I mean, he'll resist Steel, or he'll be neutral Steel because of his electric typing. Give him a couple little extra attacking options. I always personally like the physical Raichu. So, give him Play Rough, give him Dazzling Gleam for the people who like to run him special. I think his special move pool is already pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Ability-wise, I would probably... I don't know. It'd be cool to give him Drizzle, but I don't really know how that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be cool to see a non-water guy get it, just so you can come in and always land your Thunders. I mean... That's personally what I would give him. He gets Surf on the special one, too. So he'd be pretty scary. Granted, you wouldn't get the stab on your Surf, but it's still powered up by the rain. So, I mean, that's personally what I would give him. If you're not going to give him that, maybe something like Speed Boost could be cool on him. He's already pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that would be crazy good.
He's got Volt Tackle, so something else like... what is it, Rockhead? I think there's another ability that makes it so you don't take recoil damage either, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
There's something non-Rockhead named. Just protect him from himself and give him, like... I think he already gets Double Edge, but Double Edge and Volt Tackle without killing yourself would be nice. Or the obvious Regenerator, but he doesn't particularly look like a Regenerator poke. Alright guys, moving into our number one picks overall... real detailed description of what we want to see with these guys.
Alright, I didn't originally write it down, but I'm going to have two for my number one. These are two guys that, when I first saw these Pokemon, saw the descriptions, played with them, they had a lot of psychic attacks, and those being part of like their descriptions, being what they do in the show, they need to be part psychic. I am, of course, talking about Mega Golduck and Mega Noctowl. Obviously, Mega Noctowl drops a normal typing for psychic, make it a psychic flying. Golduck should have been a psychic instead of a water type. It barely gets any... In the first gen, I think it couldn't even learn Water Gun. I think it could only learn Hydro Pump in the very first games.
It's possible. I remember it getting Confusion, really.
Yeah, Confusion was like one of the big moves, obviously nowadays it still gets like Zen Headbutt, stuff like that.
I think the only reason it didn't get it in Gen 1 was just because he was running with a lot of water psychics. You had the Starmie line and the Slowpoke line.
Yeah, that's true, but...
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It should pick it up now. I mean, there's enough waters out there.
Yeah. Same thing goes with Noctowl, like that's Noctowl's like pull deal. Always on Hypnosis and Dream Eater.
You're gonna give it a Dark Rise ability?
That'd be crazy. I would love it, but I know it's never gonna happen.
Even Nightmare. I mean, there's some of those guys have some pretty crazy abilities. Some of the Megas. I mean,
like it definitely deserves a gimmick to something like that.
I think it needs. Well, I don't think it's gonna get Spore. So maybe something like Compound Eyes to make it more accurate with its
What does Tinted Lens do? Doesn't it get that?
Tinted Lens makes it so, yeah, it does get it. It's not effective moves become neutral moves effectively. I think it like doubles them up.
It definitely needs something like to make things more accurate.
Yeah, so you can get those Sings and those Dream Eaters off. That would definitely be a pain in the butt to deal with.
Yeah, because I was kind of like Hoot Hoot Noctowl, but they obviously because they're like your starter set of Pokemon you catch, they're just not that great. And I've always everyone loves Psyduck. He's one of the staples from the show.
Yeah.
So I think Golduck definitely deserves a nice little bump up to the Megas. Those guys, I just always felt that they needed to be part psychic. Just whether it's good for them or not, it just like I said, just fits their character. I just realized that all I seem to care about is like what the Pokemon would look like and like how what better fits like them and like design wise. All you seem to care about is That's what they do in the meta game.
I do. Crap.
Alright, Dave, you're
Pokemon
number
Master.
1.
Alright, one of my favorite Pokemon overall, period. I think this dude is the bee's knees. But he needs some loving because he's stuck with the shittiest ability in all of Pokemon. Of course, I'm talking about Slack King, the man. I think you give Slack King Water Veil, fuck it. You ain't burning this dude. And he's just like covered in sweat and beefed up. He's swole, he's jacked, he's yoked, and he just, like, he doesn't even need stat boost. Screw it. He's just pissed off now. And he just comes into the meta game whooping some ass. That's who I want. Mega Slack King, get rid of Truant, give him some angry faces, beef him up a bit.
Like, that should be, like, the only thing that, like, happens. Like,
Give him a plus 10.
he's just
speed.
sitting there, like, Mega Slack King's like, it's just like what happens when you Mega Evolves. Just,
Keep him pure normal.
He just stands up.
Yeah. just yoked out of his mind. It's like, I want him to look like the Ultimate Warrior.
Should give him Insomniac, that'd be kind of funny. Like, ironically enough, I think it'd be funny to give him, like, Insomniac so he can't fall asleep.
The second form has a Vital Spirit. Does the same
Vital
thing.
Spirit, yeah, there you go.
No, I want Water Veil so he can't be burned. Give him Flash Fire. Power him up if somebody tries to burn him. Like a Scald would still, but I just think it'd be funny if he was like all sweaty so he couldn't be burned. Like that was
It's
his
a
gimmick.
giant sweaty gorilla.
Yeah, just he's tired, you're whooping ass. Yeah, I want sweaty, Slack King, Mega, whooping some ass, taking
Sweat
some
King.
names, coming in, hitting that retaliate, and just screw you.
Just working that retaliate gimmick.
Yeah, you working that retaliate gimmick. He's coming in, hitting his stunner off the ropes. The goddamn John Cena. Like, that's what I want. I want him to come in just whooping ass. That's what I want my Slack King to do. And that's the bottom line.
DFC said so. And that'll do it, guys. If you like this video, please like the like button. It's right there.
Yeah, throw up a like. Leave us a comment. I like to know what you guys say your number one, who you want to see, whether it's... I don't care if you want to put in your favorite starter. I think all the starters are probably going to get them eventually. I mean, I'm pretty sure when Gen 7 comes out, we're getting Gen 4 remakes.
Yeah.
So that's when you'll see them. I mean, personally, I'd love to see some Gen 2 Megas. I just think they need a little bit of loving. Granted, Typhlosion's pretty scary, but...
I feel like we're going to get them next.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get Gen 2 next before any of the other ones.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Sheer Force for Alligator Mega.
Yeah. Especially because now there's a thing going on with Poke Transport or the Poke Bank where they just gave you... No, they gave you ones before, and I think they just gave us...
You know what?
Ones.
Going back to
No,
Slack
it was Johto Pokemon.
I got an ability for him. Give him Wonder Skin. That way, all those burns are like super inaccurate. He just comes in, he's all wonderful. Name mine, Orndorff, and he's just gonna whoop some ass.
But yeah, guys, drop some comments. Let us know what some Pokemon you think that deserve Megas. Let us know what more top 10s you guys want us to see, whether they're Pokemon related, video game related, comic book related. So we're gonna start doing these now because now the technology is finally caught up with my wallet. I can actually.
I think you should say your wallet's caught up with technology.
But anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to become a member of the Cheesecake Nation today. I am Pokemon Breeder Chudge.
I'm the master, Dave.
And we shall see you guys next time.
I'm gonna go with whatever trainer class Geddes is. Guy in trench coat.
Overly unneeded giant coat.
Yeah. Be the guy who stands in the cave. Damn. Kind of look like the farmer sprite. Like overalls on.